welcome back to another episode of Mind, Money, Soul. And today I want to talk about what to do if you feel like you don't have enough money to start investing. I'm excited because this is one thing that people come to me all the time and they say, I want to invest, but I don't have enough money. But that is very subjective because one person's I don't have enough is somebody else's wow, what a lot. So let's break it down. Now, before I get into that, I'm very excited to announce that the Feel Good Investor course is back. She's returning for a 5th round, honeys. I thought it was the 4th round, but it's the 5th. How wild is that? So it is basically just designed to help you feel confident in building your own wealth. And we're going to cover how to get started, the emotional side of investing, how to build an investor mindset. And basically the aim is to take your dreams from being a pipe dream to actually being a reality by learning how to use your cash to turn it into an asset, to make money off your money, and to learn how to maximize it. I mean, what more is there to love? I said more. What more is there to love? You can basically join up on the course using the link in the show notes. The course is £199, absolute bargain. But if you want an early bird discount, you can get £20 off. So the course will only be £179 if you sign up before the 8th of September 2024. Now let's get into the episode. So first off, let's talk about getting started with what you already have. I guarantee for a lot of you, maybe not 100%, but for a lot of you, you either don't know where your money is going. You're like, I don't budget, I don't track, I don't this, I can't stick to it. Like, you just don't really know what's going on. Or you have a rough idea, right? I bet that most of you, except for those who have budgeted to the penny, have a little bit of money in your monthly spending somewhere that you could invest. I guarantee that somewhere accidentally you are wasting money. And when I say wasting money, I mean a combination of A, spending mindlessly, spending it on things that you don't give a flying fuck about, or that you do because it's emotional, or that you do because it's habitual. And they're the purchases that we can basically not make or reduce. But then also wasting money and things like looking at what's going on with your subscriptions, or where you're paying your bills, things where you could probably bring that money down, right? Because you're not being savvy or you're not paying attention. So there's definitely something, even if it is literally £20 a month. So I want to give you a bit of an example just to explain the impact that £20 a month could end up having. Let's just say this year you managed to find an extra £20 a month in your budget that, like I said, was already being spent elsewhere, but you're like, do you know what? That's not really bringing me joy anymore. Or do you know what? I don't really care to spend on that. And you invested it into an index fund where you got an 8% return on average over the course of many years. And let's just say every single year you managed to find within your budget already an extra £10 a month. So the first year you're doing £20 a month, the second year you're doing £30 a month, the next year you're doing £40 a month, next year you get the picture. And over time, let's just say you did this for 30 years. Now the highest amount you would ever end up investing per year would be £310. That'd be like in the 30th year. But like that's the cascade, the waterfall of the way you've done it. And this is if you just manage to keep finding little bits of extra money every single month, okay? Now what I think would actually happen is you'd see the impact that it's having on your money and you would end up investing more than that, but this is just the example. Now over the course of those 30 years, you would have invested £59,000 of your own money, but you would have an asset value of, you would have an asset value of £152,000 approximately. So this just gives you the example of how you can potentially find money and the impact that that would have. Now that's nearly, not fully, but nearly tripling your money. It's 2.5xing it. We love that. So first off, it's getting started with what you already have. So go through your budget, go through your spending over the last few months and really have a look at where you have or haven't spent. And it could be as simple as, oh my God, I've been paying for the gym and I haven't been going. Oh my God, I signed up to this subscription that's charging me $7.99 and I'm not using it. Let's cancel that. Oh my God, I've just seen a deal for my electricity and I can save £10 a month. All the little things add up. So they're just some examples. So really looking at ways that you can get started with what you already have. Okay, the next one, and actually let's keep on this theme of finding money to invest, right? So when it does come to budgeting, you really want to create a budget and go over your spending in a way that is judgment free. I mean, I know for a fact that judgment on your finances is one of the worst things you can do, especially when it comes and it creates shame, creates guilt, creates embarrassment. Like, what is that doing for you, boo? You cannot shame yourself into better habits. You have to love yourself there. So when you look at your finances and you go, damn it, I wish I wasn't spending there, or damn it, I've wasted this, turn it into a positive and be like, wow, if I've wasted that much up until this point, look what it's going to do for me now. I can shift, I can change my habits and my behaviour now, and I can start here on out and make a big change. So we can turn it into a positive. You know, that £20 a month could be 4 coffees in London. It could be 2 cocktails on a night out. It could be 1 top from Zara. Like, it could be little things that you don't realise that you're spending that are just very habitual, and you don't need them. And I'm saying this as though you already buy, you know, a coffee every single day. 1 less coffee a week isn't going to make that much of a difference. Let's say you already spend loads on shopping. 1 less top at Zara isn't going to make that much of a difference. 2 cocktails on a night out. If you're on a night out and you go out and you spend hundreds, is 2 cocktails going to make that much of a difference? No, you're finding money that you're already spending. And I'm not about telling people to cut back too much, because sometimes we can't cut back our way into wealth. However, it can help us get started with the financial habits. So really just looking at your spending and asking yourself, is my need to be able to spend money however I want, on whatever I want in this moment, greater or bigger than my want to build wealth and stability for my life? That's really what it comes down to. It all just comes down to choices. And it's about, you know, not cutting off your nose to spite your face for the sake of buying something that you've always bought. Okay, if it's not bringing you joy or it feels wasteful and you can just save that little bit of extra money, you know what to do. And this also kind of leans into like this idea, the next bit I was going to talk about making more to invest. But when it comes to cutting back, you've got the purchases that are wasteful and mindless and habitual and emotional. But then you have the purchases that are a conscious choice right now, where you can actively say, oh no, I budgeted £50 for that night out, or oh no, I gave myself a £100 clothes, budget for that category, right? But you cut back and say, I am choosing not to spend on this that I normally do and I normally enjoy, so that I can invest. That is an empowering mindset. Instead of being like, I have to stop buying this so I can prepare for my future, it's empowering. It's like, yeah, normally I do spend on those things, but right now I'm choosing not to. Right now, this is a choice. I'm choosing to find an extra £20, £50 in my budget so I can get started. Oh, that shit is empowering. Okay, now I want to talk about making more money so that you can invest. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of just cutting back. Sometimes you really just need to make more money. Whether that is, well, there's so many things, right? Side hustles, pay rises. They're two of the biggest thing. Now, pay rise. Are you being paid fairly for your work? Are you being paid the same as your co-workers that are a different gender to you? Are you in a position where you could go to your boss, your manager, and say, yo, maybe don't say yo. Hello, sir, madame, I would like a pay rise. And put forward a business case as opposed to why you should or deserve more money. The thing about this is, first off, men are more likely to have to pay rises, so women, we've got to step up. Secondly, they can't ask asking for a pay rise. The worst that's going to happen is they say no, and then you can decide, do I still want to be here on this pay, or do I pivot? Do I change roles? Do I change companies? Do I look to see what else is out there? But if you can get more money coming in, for doing what you're already doing, we love. Find out where you're stood in this space for your pay rise and see if you can call in more money. Now, if you are a business owner, I mean, technically, the world is your oyster when it comes to making money. You can literally, there are so many different ways that you could make money. Selling more, which sounds stupid, right? It really depends on what kind of job you have. But if you run your own business, getting more clients, getting more customers, getting more sales, like how can you make a little bit more money in your business so you as a business owner can invest more? It's like giving yourself a pay rise, but instead of going to the boss and saying, hey, here's my, can we do a pay review? You're coming to yourself and say, hey, I think you deserve more money, so let's try and make more money in the business. And then we want to think about side hustles. Now, the thing about side hustles that I kind of hate is people make out like they're easy. Now, this isn't me having a mindset like working is hard, but like some side hustles do take time, but it doesn't mean they're not worth it. So you have ones that you can do just like straight away, right? Which is like, online surveys and research, paying for your receipts. Like there's an app that you can upload a picture of your receipt and you get paid for it. Being a mystery shopper. No, there's some random ways that you can do it. Or like cat sitting, dog sitting, babysitting, like all the standard ways. But then you have the more longer term thing, which is like building an actual side business on the side. You could become a UGC content creator on Instagram or TikTok. You could sell digital products online, like downloadables and trackers and things like that. You could sell your own services, be it through your own content and following, or through like Fiverr or Upwork. Either way, selling something, selling your craft, selling a skill that you have to people that want it. Again, this takes more time, but if you have a goal with it and you have a North Star and you know why you're doing it and what you're doing it for, girl, you know that extra money is just going to be so tasty. But what you don't want to do is start to make more money, be it a pay rise or a side hustle, and then inflate your lifestyle to meet how much you have and then not have enough to invest more. Because the whole point of doing this is to invest more, not just to make more. It's so that you can grow that money. So don't give up more of your time just to live paycheck to paycheck even more, or to just hold on to your money in cash. Really think about how you're going to build your net worth through assets. We love an asset. So yeah, I want to give you an example actually, going back to this idea around cutting back. And so let's just say, for example, you bought a Pret lunch, you get a sandwich, a snack and a coffee, and it's £10 a day. Now if you chose to do that every single day, right? If you said, right, I'm going to cut back and I'm going to only do it twice a week, Monday and Friday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to bring in and make my own lunch. Now, obviously that has its own cost associated, but that can be mixed into your grocery bill. But you would save £10 each day, which is 30 each time you did it, £30 a week, which is £120 a month you've managed to save. Now, if you did that for 5 years, you would have invested an extra £7,200. And after 30 years, from starting to invest, that investment would be worth, if you invested in an index fund with about 7% return, would be worth £48,000. So you've made just over £40,000 of interest just from cutting back on some of your lunches. Now, the reason why I use this as an example, right, is question one, you getting the same Pret lunch every single day, in and out, same coffee, same place. Is it really bringing you that much joy, or are you just convincing yourself of that because it's easy? Yeah, I know, painful. Is it actually something that you really value? Like, I really love going to work and making money so that I can spend my money on Pret lunches. Really? Probably not. I imagine 99% of you would say no, and maybe you all don't get Pret lunches, but whatever your version of this is. Now for me, for example, I love matchas. Oh my God, I love them so much, right? Get them every single day. However, I go to the same place, I get the same one. If I missed out on one or two here and there, it wouldn't be the end of the world, okay? Now I value it and I would never cut it out. However, when I have a big goal that I'm working towards, I'm like, what would I want to give up? Now match is probably a bad example because you compare it to a Pret lunch, it's like a third of that. Mine might be, I'm trying to think of something that I spend on. Yeah, it would be eating out, actually. I love eating out so much. I love it. It brings me so much joy. Sometimes it's for convenience. Sometimes it's because I haven't prepped and I haven't meal prepped. In the future, I would love a life where I can eat out at any point, whenever I want, wherever I want. I am still building that lifestyle. I'm still building that future. I'm still building that dream. And when you think about, wow, this lunch just cost me an hour of my time. Is it actually worth it? And where else could that money be going? Probably into an investment. Now, when you've worked this all out and you find a bit of money, it's so exciting because then you can play around with doing it, especially if you haven't got started. You can play around with a smaller amount of money and get confident in doing it. And then when you really understand it, you can then grow that money and watch your investments bloody soar. What time to be alive? So yeah, don't forget that the investing course begins mid-September. 16th, 17th, the 18th. You can get the early bird discount of £20 off up until the 8th of September. And yeah, I really, really hope to see you all there. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye!